We are live. It is Christmas Eve morning. And good morning to you. The Super Text line is open at 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. And we do have a lot going on this morning. Brian Wilson is going to be live in studio to do his weekly hit here on a Wednesday. Looking forward to that at 7:06. And yesterday, some really good news. This unfolded right as we were wrapping up the radio show yesterday morning, the morning show capping off what feels like a really good week, couple of weeks, actually, of economic news for the Trump administration. The GDP numbers were released, and they did indeed beat expectations. Need some video. The inflation numbers I think it was the last week, we had some really good inflation numbers that also beat expectations. The GDP numbers as well, looking really good.
GDP, second time around the block, delayed. Third quarter numbers, we're looking for 3.3. Zoom, 4.3%. 4.3%. That is a nice jump. And I know many may question day the gathering, but on the surface, this would be the strongest quarter going back to the third quarter of 2023 when it was 4.7. This is strong. 3.5 on consumption blows away the 2.7 we were expecting.
Yep.
That would be the best since the last quarter of 24. On the price index, here's some not good.
I liked how he said zoom, zoom, zoom. He was very excited, and he should be. The U.S. economy grew by 4.3% from July to September. That was far better than the 3.2% that was expected. I am noticing a pattern, and that is that it seems like Donald Trump and the economy is constantly beating expectations. We've seen that in the last couple of reports. It's also, by the way, a full percentage point better, again, as you heard, than the 3.3% growth seen this time last year. Now, before we get too excited, the numbers can be revised. You know, that's happened before. You know how that goes. But they're saying strong overall growth. Consumer spending is up. Exports are up and imports are down, and corporations, their profits are up. And that means, by the way, oh, those evil corporations. Well, that means that they will hire and they will invest. And that sure beats laying off. I always love the left when they're always screaming about the greedy corporations. You folks have heard me say this before. But the left is always screaming about the greedy corporations. And I'm like, really? Because last time I checked, that's how a lot of Americans are hired in this country. A lot of those corporations help you out with 401k, and they'll match your certain percentage of 401ks. They'll help pay for your medical benefits, the whole thing. So I'm not one of those people that are always going to, be yelling about the corporations. It's like, okay, I'm glad that they're making money, because if the corporations are making money, then so am I. By the way, for folks who don't know, GDP, it stands for Gross Domestic Product. That is the total, I looked this up, that is the total monetary value for all final goods and services produced within a country's borders over a specific time. They say the GDP is the most widely used indicator of a country's health and size. So this was obviously, again, good news. And I do wonder if the experts out there will ever get tired of hearing the words, that Donald Trump has once again beat expectations. This was on CNN.
A new report shows the U.S. economy was much stronger than expected in the third quarter. GDP grew at the fastest rate in 2 years. Americans are also seeing some prices ease at the grocery store.
So they're talking about, and if you're watching on Super Talk TV, you see this. Eggs per dozen down 21.6%. Milk is down 3.4%. Fresh whole chicken down 1.5%. Tomatoes, that is down 10%. Now, coffee, unfortunately, for me, because I drink a lot of it, coffee is up 34.8%, and bacon is up 1.2% as well. So this is why you see some of these things, and some items are up, some items are down. That's what, I'm always saying that. It's like, look, the left will focus on the items that are more expensive and say, oh, look, prices are still up. and the right will focus on items that are down. I mean, that is just the way that it goes. But you can't deny that it is good news when inflation, and we got the inflation numbers last week, inflation numbers are down, and you also have now the GDP is on the rise. Now, what does a positive GDP mean for you? Because remember what I always say. I always say that there is the economy and then there is your economy. Because, oftentimes you'll hear the pundits say, oh, the economy is doing great. And then you're sitting there, and I've been through this, and then you're sitting there saying, well, that's great. The economy is doing great, but my economy sucks. Right, Jay?
Yes. Well, I tell you, one thing about my economy I've been enjoying is the price of gasoline.
Oh, price of gasoline is down.
Yeah, I mean, I paid like $2.07 the other day.
We've got a place by my house. They just reopened back up, and last time I saw, they were at like $2.11, $2.10, something like that. And so we're at like, I think, a 4 or 5 year low with gasoline. So listen, all of these are wins and all of these are victories. Because remember that the left have been wishing and hoping and praying for a recession. I've got somewhere in my mountain of audio this morning, Hakeem Jeffries out there saying, oh, yeah, we're going to go into a recession. AOC out there saying, as she's walking up the steps to Capitol Hill, saying that Donald Trump was destroying the economy. Can somebody please tell me where it is happening right now that Donald Trump is destroying the economy? He's not destroying the economy. We've got low gas prices. We've got lower inflation. Yeah, some stuff is still too expensive. Affordability is obviously, still a problem, but we've got a lot of really positive indicators, and we haven't even reached 2026 yet, where a lot of the tax breaks within the big, beautiful bill, they are going to come into play.
Yeah, Dan, but what about those evil tariffs?
Oh,
it's the tariffs.
You know what? Exports are higher, imports are lower. Exports are, and that is an indicator that the tariffs are actually working. Manufacturing is on the rise. I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to be Pollyannish about this. I do realize that there is still work to be done, but these are all really positive signs. Jay, is there anything going on in traffic?
No, Dan, I mean, nobody's on the road to create any problems. We're looking good.
We're the only people out here today.
I was going to say, these traffic reports really inspiring for me to do a good job this morning, Jay. But what does a positive GDP mean for you? It means robust hiring, job creation, investments by companies. I was just talking about that. If we are, and this is what you and I were talking about, Jay, if we are exporting more, that means we are creating and manufacturing more goods to be exported. Fewer imports obviously means that we are working hard to build our own economy and rely less on imports. It also means that, yes, wages will rise. And so I think this is all good. Well, the higher wages and lower unemployment, that means more revenue for the government, of course, as well. Because if more people are working and more people are making higher wages, then that means more tax revenue, a larger tax base for the federal government. So, I mean, I think this is all good news heading into, Christmas tomorrow.
Oh, and you had Stuart McWhorter in here yesterday talking about specifically to the state of Tennessee what we should expect to be rolling out in 2026. It's just we live in an era where people don't have the patience. They want it now.
That's exactly right. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick was all over this positive news yesterday. This was on Fox.
The whole world out there in the third quarter, the United Kingdom grew 0.1, the European Union grew 0.4, and Japan fell 0.6%. Fell 0.6%.
In other words, our GDP is better than all of those nations.
Donald Trump's economy grew, the United States of America, the biggest economy in the world, 4.3%. What that means is that Americans overall, all of us, are going to earn 4.3% more money. We're making a raise. It's a simple way to do it. We've got more jobs, lower energy costs, and lower interest rates coming. This is the golden age coming. 4.3% this quarter means Americans on average are making more money in their pocketbooks. That makes for a great Christmas.
There you go. I mean, didn't we talk about this? Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we saw people just buying up a storm, right?
Yeah.
So I think that people are confident. I do believe, and I've said this before, that the people on the left, they desperately, and I mean desperately, want the economy to fail. And here's the thing. When Joe Biden was in office, we weren't rooting for the economy to fail. We wanted gas prices to come down, and we wanted inflation to come down from over 9%. We wanted all of that. We wanted the American people to succeed with a better economy. And so as a conservative, I don't know one person on our side of the aisle that was rooting and wishing and hoping for a terrible economy. We wanted the American people to win, even if it meant a victory for Joe Biden. Biden, though, couldn't get the hell out of his own way. With all of that spending, gas prices way up over, I forget how high gas prices went, but they were really up high. And so now Donald Trump, with the deregulation that he's put forward and all the things that he has done, we are heading into 2026, as I like to say, wind in our sails and full speed ahead.
I think the most broadly spread sentiment during the first month or two of the Biden administration, as we started to see what was rolling down the hill, was, man, $1.89 gas and mean tweets would feel real good right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we said.
That's all. You're right. I'd forgotten about that, but you're right. That is all we said. So, honestly, I don't know. I'm going into 2026. I was a little dour a while ago. The thing about being a talk show host is we are just, from one day to the next, I'm either really happy or really frustrated with the news, whatever it is. I'm feeling good. Like, I really am. I'm feeling good. There's a lot of folks that, they're down on Trump for whatever reason. And yeah, he says some things and he does some things that drive me up the wall. But here's the deal. Right now, things are going good. Yesterday, I had the, what was it? Trump's approval rating is higher than the Democrats in Congress and the Republicans in Congress as well. So that means that when Donald Trump heads off to the campaign trail as we head into the midterm elections, that will be a good thing for the Republicans. 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. Boy, there is a lot of people. Did I say something wrong? Because I'm watching the super text line go crazy, and that when the super text line goes nuts, it either means that I've said something really smart, which is rare, or I've shanked something, which, that is usually more on base for me.
Are you telling me people aren't just texting to wish you a Merry Christmas?
No. Well, they might be. I don't know. Anyway, 621. You know what I've got coming up? Maybe, should I save this for Brian Wilson when Brian comes in? We've got the worst takes of the year. And some of your favorite morons are on there. And
is Chuck Schumer one of those morons?
No, you know what the thing is?
Did you see his approval rating out of every member of Congress? Every member of Congress.
Yes.
Chuck Schumer, the lowest ranked member of Congress.
Nuh-uh.
Out of all of them. So what is that, 635 of them?
Well, you know what? That's because he doesn't know how to grill a cheeseburger.
True.
Do you know that's a reference to, Jay?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay.
I remember the video of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I think that Schumer, you think he's going to bother to run for re-election?
Oh, yeah.
Because AOC is going to try to primary him.
Well, and there's rumors she's going to run for president, God help us.
Oh,
but, yeah.
I know. Wow. Okay.
All right. Here we go, Dan. Here we go.
Oh, I got to listen.
Window panes And a streaming inside.
What in the world?
Candy
What
canes
is this?
on the trees. Come on,
man.
Dan.
No, how about no? Not come on, Dan.
His way.
How about Sam? Why do we stop this? I can't take it. What is this? And all
Frank
this?
Sinatra.
Oh, is this Frank Sinatra?
The Christmas waltz.
And for me.
All right. Well, if Jay would stop singing, I could hear this. Jiminy
It's a
crickets.
sing-along, Dan.
Well, I don't know the song.
Of yeah.
Turn it up. Yeah, I can't take it. I can't take it.
The Christmas waltz, Dan. Come on.
Okay, well, very good. Very
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra.
Classic stuff from old Blue Eyes.
Old is the operative word.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's
Very
wrong
good.
with that? You know, everybody's always all these songs and sentiments about an old-fashioned Christmas. Well, there you go.
I don't want an old-fashioned Christmas. Is that wrong to say?
No,
It would mean you wouldn't be working right
to
now.
each his own.
What do you mean?
I mean, back in the day, everyone had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off.
Boy, that's true. I don't know what I'm doing here. To be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, hey, listen, the Rand Paul's Festivus report is out. Now, everybody knows that the government wastes a whole crap ton of money, right? This is from the New York Post. Rand Paul's annual Festivus report slams the feds for bug buffets, coked up dogs, and $1.6 trillion in taxpayer tab. So Rand Paul in the Festivus report, basically what he does is he points out government waste. And I like Rand Paul. So you want to hear some of these things? Now, I'm going to tell you, I've not read any of this, so I'm discovering this just straight off the top. Among the more eyebrow-raising line items, nearly $2.5 million, Jay Harper, from the National Science Foundation to promote insects as food for humans.
Oh, God, I thought you said incest there for a minute. Like, oh, my God.
No, Jay,
Oh,
this
okay.
isn't Somalia.
All right.
This isn't Minnesota. Yeah. Bug buffets, they say, on Uncle Sam's dime. Now, why would the National Science Foundation want to promote insects as food for humans? I don't know the answer to that question. Jay,
Well,
ever eat chocolate-covered whatever?
No. I've never gone down that particular
Chocolate-covered
road.
grasshoppers?
No, never.
No, neither
never.
one of you?
I did have a lollipop with a scorpion in it one time.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd it taste?
Crunchy.
Crunchy like chicken?
Yep, protein.
Protein. Okay.
Little salty. You know, it's like a treat in the middle of all the sugar.
Okay, that's just a little weird, but whatever.
You know, I grew up in South Louisiana. Crawfish, a big thing down there. And
Yeah.
they're called mud bugs, even though they're not
They're
really
delicious.
Not really bugs, but that's the closest I've come.
How about another one? The Department of Health and Human Services shelled out $1.5 million for what the report dubs TikTok therapy, using celebrity influencers to discourage drug use in Latino communities. Now, this is last year, so this is the Biden administration,
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Clearly it didn't work.
Is there a lot of drug use in the Latino community?
Well, the cartels.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Right. Let's see here. And here's the deal with all these. I'm not going to go on a whole influencer thing today, but is there anyone who has decided not to use drugs because they saw like an influencer say don't do it? Like, I'm thinking back when I was a kid. I remember when I was in Little League, and do you know who, Jay, you would know. Do you remember Steve Yeager from the Los Angeles Dodgers?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So one season when I was in Little League, Steve Yeager came to give a big speech to the kids, right? It was like opening day. And you know what he said? He said, "And kids, don't do drugs." And everybody's looking around like, it's just so weird. Because
We don't know what those are.
yeah, we were like 10. So then all of a sudden our curiosity is up about drugs. So the last person I'm ever going to, I don't want to get into it.
Well, you know, and Steve Yeager, sadly, I mean, he was notorious for having a drug problem at one point.
Didn't he do cocaine?
I'm sure just about everybody back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, really?
In, the Dodgers organization, it's Los Angeles for crying out loud.
I grew up in L.A.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a lot of cocaine around.
Really?
No. It's strange that you do know that, Jay.
Well, for us, it was the DARE program.
DARE.
Oh, I even forget what the acronym
I forget
Dare
the
to keep
acronym.
kids
I forget
off drugs or whatever it was.
DARE. I forget what that stood for.
Drug Abuse Resistance Education.
Yeah.
Yeah, and drugs were skyrocketing.
And then, of course, there was
when that happened.
Nancy Reagan, right, with Just Say No.
Just say no. Which, you know what? None of these hokey, stupid little things worked. They just didn't. Just say no.
I'll say the one thing that was effective, and I vaguely remember the commercials for specifically they were attacking meth. And they had, it was some quick horror flick they would shoot. And these kids would smoke meth in the commercial, and then just, the craziest stuff would happen. And then they go, meth, not even once.
Do you remember This Is Your Brain on Drugs? Do you remember that? How dumb that was?
Yeah, the egg on the, yeah.
Do you know what's so funny? And this is, I've talked about this for years. I've never been on any, well, more recently, but the gummies. But I've never been, I've never done, drugs. You know what I mean? Do you know why I didn't use drugs as a kid? It wasn't because of Steve Yeager. It wasn't because of some stupid influencer of the time. It wasn't because of Nancy Reagan or what. It's because my dad told me he'd beat the living crap out of me if I did drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And do you know what's interesting?
Peace through strength.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, that and
not in my house when my parents were married. Not by any stretch of there was no peace in that house. Moving right along, but yeah, my dad telling me that he would kick the living crap out of me did really convince me not to use drugs. Now, oddly enough, my brother went the complete opposite way. My brother became a drug addict, and I was like the goody two shoes in the house, and my brother had to go to rehab. I think years later, I said, "Good job, Dad. You
drove him there.
You convinced me, but I don't know. Somehow my brother didn't get the message. He's doing great now, by the way." Let's see here. 40 million plus went to influencer campaigns urging minority groups to get COVID vaccines years after the lockdowns and the mandates ended. That's so dumb. That is just so dumb. We spend so much money on stupid. And, the people that, will poo-poo the Festivus report every single year, they will, they'll, say, oh, it's just a small part of our overall budget for America. It doesn't matter. It's the point. We're spending stuff on stupid, and how many veterans could get better health care with that $40 million, right? So don't give me this crap about how it's just a small part of the budget. I was kind of hoping for a white Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hunter Biden has one somewhere. What? So, speaking of which, booze-soaked ferrets and cocaine dogs.
What?
This is Rand Paul's Festivus report. Animal experiments featured prominently in the report's Hall of Shame. Taxpayers paid more than $1 million for a Veterans Affairs study that forced teenage ferrets to binge drink booze before killing them. Why? See, you know what? If I didn't know I was going to do this, we're a little loosey-goosey today because it is Christmas Eve morning. But I've always wanted to know, what was the end goal? What were they trying to find out by forcing these poor ferrets, these teenage ferrets, to binge drink booze and then kill them? And why would they have to kill them? That's the other thing. Why would they kill them? Why can't they just let them sober up?
Get them a little ferret cup of coffee.
That's exactly right. Somebody get the ferret a Bloody Mary.
Take them to the local Waffle House.
That's exactly right. Let's see here. The NIH also spent $5.2 million forcing dogs to use cocaine. while $13.8 million more went towards controversial beagle experiments tied to previously reported Fauci-era grants, according to the report.
I mean, that just sounds like criminal animal abuse. I mean, if any of us did anything near that, we'd be in jail.
Yes. And I still want to know what they were trying to...
Yeah, what's the end game here?
I mean, they have, I'm pretty sure, someone will fact check me, enhancements in dogfighting charges if you're doping them up with like amphetamines and stuff.
Well, yeah.
It's added on.
I feel like we know all we need to know about alcohol. Let's go back to the drunk ferrets. So what more do we need to know about alcohol that would force us to get a bunch of ferrets drunk and then killing them? I'm not, trust me when I say, I am not a tree hugger. I'm not some sort of, animal-loving vegan. That's not me. I mean, I eat steak every chance I get, but I still don't understand why we do these kinds of things because, to me, I love animals and I do feel sorry for the animals. That's number one. But number two, why are we spending so much money on this?
Yeah. How much does it cost to round up some ferrets and go down to the liquor store and buy a bottle of Tonka vodka?
That's a great point. All right, here, go to Grok. Will you go to Grok, Sam, and type in there why it is that they were getting the teenage ferrets to binge drink booze and then kill them. What were they trying to find out? Because I truly am genuinely curious on some of this stuff.
They could have just studied that raccoon that, did you probably
the
saw
raccoon that got into the liquor store? And where was that? Was that?
I forget where it was.
It was in Tennessee somewhere, wasn't it?
I forget, don't recall, but,
I don't remember.
Drunk raccoon that passed out in the restroom of the place after binging.
How many of us said, yeah, we can relate to the raccoon? I can't. I've never passed out in a bathroom. You, Jay, have you ever gotten so drunk you passed out in a... Okay.
No, not there anyway.
Monkeys with metal head posts screwed into their skulls to keep their heads in place as they were forced to play a Plinko-style video game to the tune of $14.6 million. Is it Plinko?
Good grief.
Plinko?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know.
It's where... If I'm pretty sure, like a coin or a flat disc makes its way down the pegs, and you try to get it into a guided spot.
So these monkeys had metal head posts screwed into their skulls to keep their heads in place as they were forced to play a Plinko-style video game. $14.6 million. I don't get it, man.
No kidding.
I don't understand what it is that they're trying to find out. And maybe there's a good reason. Did you find out why they're getting the ferrets drunk?
So, yeah, the Veterans Affairs funded study costing over $1 million exposed these teenage ferrets to a binge drinking pattern of alcohol consumption for up to 90 days, followed by euthanasia, all to examine the brain tissue.
Of a ferret.
Because the method modeled human adolescent binge drinking. Researchers denied the ferrets water 1 day per week while providing alcohol as the only drinking option, forcing high intake on those binge days, and allowed normal access to both water and alcohol on other 6 days. The goal was to study long-term neurodevelopment
By the way,
effects.
somewhere Hunter Biden wanted to volunteer for this program.
No, he was trying to volunteer with the dogs.
And the cocaine.
And the cocaine.
Okay,
yeah.
very good.
So this was to study long-term neurodevelopmental effects of adolescent binge alcohol exposure. Ferrets serve as an animal model because their brains have more folded cortex similar to humans.
So don't we already know what happens? I mean...
Yeah. The earlier on you're exposed to alcohol, the more likely you are to have other problems developmentally and socially.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we're spending so much money on these redundant and repetitive tests. I mean, I'm not a ferret lover. I mean, I don't care, but I think it's just silly.
I think it's honestly, it's just bored researchers that want something that they look at as fun.
Well, do you know what part of this is? Part of this is, these researchers sometimes in these universities, they get these grants.
Yeah.
And so they
have to spend the money.
And they have to spend the money.
And I think some of that's just payback for a lot of Democratic, Democrat backing institutions.
The State Department forked over $244,000 for a children's climate change cartoon in Pakistan, while another $1.5 million promoted American movies and video games overseas. Well, isn't that that's a private industry thing? Why are we promoting American movies and video games overseas? If there's a movie company, let them fork out the money to promote their movie overseas, not the American taxpayers.
Out of all the things you've listed off, though, that's the only one that would sound reasonable, because then you're boosting your own economy, at least at that point. You're not sacrificing animals for the sake of the science. You're not
sacrificing animals, but still. I mean, that if Sony Pictures wants to promote their movie in China or whatever it is, let them pay the money for it. And the video games overseas, American-made video games overseas. Do we make a lot of good video games here?
Yeah.
We actually do in America?
Actually, one of the developers, most prominent developers recently, passed away in a tragic car accident in California. He was responsible for Call of Duty. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, Fortnite, there's a lot that we produce that other countries, hop on.
Okay. All right. Very good. I thought, for whatever reason, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I thought they're all in, I thought Japan was really big in that stuff.
Well, that's Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. They made Pac-Man.
And, yeah, but, Microsoft
Times have changed since the 80s. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, we got to go. Brian Wilson is coming up for the Wednesdays with Wilson live in studio. I do want to see, is it weird that I want to see his reaction to the gamer chair here in the studio? I'm curious as to how he's going to react. Don't anybody text him to tell him that I'm can't wait to see. I want to see if he's going to break the chair. Because you remember he's lost a lot of weight.
Oh man,
dude, he has lost like an entire Brian.
I know it. He's lost. I was just chatting with him. It's been a while since I've seen him. He says he's lost over 100 pounds in total.